So I had something I want to share with you guys. My son this year, he's kind of going to a new school. Well, he did go to this school for half a year last year. So this year, he's in first grade, and he had faced a bad case of bullying. He was getting into a lot of fights. Kids were attacking him, basically, just picking on him. What we call in my day, people was teasing him, ranking him and stuff, and it affected him. And so, once it got really serious, a student attacked him in the bathroom. Like he was, using the bathroom, and the student came in there and kind of like snuck him. And so in my mind, anybody who know me, like, what I want to tell him to do. Hey, wait till the teacher taking attendance and take off. You got to do your one too. Like, this the only thing they gonna respect. But my son, he's such a loving kid. I didn't want to fill him with that anger at such an early age, And it took a lot in me to not say, hey, take a pencil to school, or here go a little sock, and I put like 6 batteries in there, you know what I'm saying, kind of. It took everything in me to just be like, listen, man, be strong, man. This does not last forever. And, just comfort them and just give them all the love I have. Now, I did get in touch with the teachers. I even suggested, hey, you need to call some of these kids' parents in, man. Because I need to have like a one-on-one with them. The school's like, oh, no, we can't do that. That's not procedure. So I had to just support them and just tell them, like, don't let nobody change who you are, man. Don't let what these people say affect you, take the high road. And when I sat and thought about it, a lot of us, when we were coming up and these things were happening, because I was bullied, like, at his age, except for I was filled with rage. And my family put anger into me in order for me to basically defend myself. And so I honestly just didn't want to fill my son with that poison. Granted, it hurts me. Everything that he took or he takes, it hurt me like deeply. And I went to the principal, I went to the superintendent, I went to the counselor, and we are getting the problems resolved and things are getting better for him. But I just realized that he's not angry, and I was glad that I was able to like put that love into him. And I was just glad that I was able to support him and give him a different outlook. You know what I'm saying? He will throw a punch or two, but how I was raised and how we were taught to get your lick back, that puts a certain amount of anger in you. And I'm just glad that as a parent, I didn't fill him with that same anger, that same poisonous, venomous rage. Because anybody who knows that, once you get that rage like inside of you, it's hard to get it out. Once that switch cut on, you know what I'm saying? Because somebody who's loving and just a kid and just loves being a kid, when you cut that switch on where they have to turn into something else, it's hard to cut that switch off. So I know a lot of like dads who are so involved in their kids' life and, come up with things, and we be kind of at a catch-22 on how to handle things, because a lot of us have been through a different path. And I just ain't want to give my son those instructions or tools to go down that same path. So we got through it, and he's stronger and he's more loving because of it, because he has that emotional control, you know what I'm saying, where he's learning how to do things the right way, tell the teachers, and, still be himself. So I'm glad I didn't lose him in this process, and I'm glad I was able to love him properly and walk him through it. And, still have his back at the same time, because his dad will flip something. And I'm just glad that I didn't have to pass that off to him, So that's just my story.